You're listening to the Long Game Podcast. I'm your host, Sandra Scaiano. I'm recently back from a trip to my dear friend and multiple-time Long Game Podcast guest, April Pertwee's Storytelling Symposium. So the symposium is an amazing 2-day event held in San Antonio where we came together to hear stories and do some inner work on developing our own story, as well as to connect with other business owners. And this time for me was about even more than the event programming, which I'm going to share some takeaways from. But for me, this time was about my circle. And as women business owners, there is a special value we place on the group of women that we take the journey with. Men have circles too, yes, but there is a magic that is different when women get together. And over the course of my business, I've really emphasized, building and having these intimate women's support groups where we lean on one another. We share ideas. We share information. We share our expertise with one another, right? Like, who are you going to call? That's who you're going to call because you know that she will bring it for you. And we get the much needed support we need, on the daily because we are in our offices, our home offices, all alone usually. So, it's important to be able to have this group. So today we are talking the importance of having a circle and some takeaways from the recent in-person boost I got from my own circle. And these are gems that you just can't get anywhere else. The long game is your circle. You're listening to the Long Game Podcast with Sandra Scaiano. In a world where everyone is doing, it's easy to get lost in a sea of comparison, secret tricks, and promises of overnight success. The long game is my approach to business, the actual day in and day out philosophy that you have to show up, you have to do the work, and there's no quick fixes for long-term success. I'm a web designer, digital strategist, and energetic thinker, and I'm here to share the process and lessons I experience with my clients daily who are going through the same struggles of building a business as you are. We'll hear from successful entrepreneurs sharing their long game strategies, and I'm fun, so we're going to have a little fun along the way too. Thanks for being here. Let's get to today's episode. It goes by many different names: community, tribe, network. For me, I prefer circle. And there's something about that term, right? The term circle. They have long been used as symbols of unity and wholeness and equality. There is no beginning or end to a circle, and there is no leader or hierarchy in a circle. And in many cultures, circles can represent protection and healing. They can envelop. The circle is also a powerful symbol of unity as it stands for the idea that we are all connected. Whether we realize it or not, we are connected by an invisible thread that binds us together. And the circle is a reminder of this shared humanity. In many indigenous cultures, it is a tradition for women to gather in a circle when someone is giving birth or when a woman is going through her moon time. The circle of women supports the woman in the center. And all of the women in the circle are connected through their energy and through their love. Like, this is a tradition that has been carried on for centuries. And there is a reason why. Because when women come together in a circle, they create a powerful energy field that can help heal and support the woman in the center. And this circle of women is a symbol of strength and sisterhood, and it can be a very powerful force. So in this modern day, we need a circle for our business lives just as much it has been needed all through time. So the Storytelling Symposium that I traveled to, it's now in its 4th year. And last year, the symposium was virtual. So when it was announced that it was going to be in person, I jumped at the chance to attend. This was a chance to be with women in my circle in person. And because of the nature of the event, we would have a shared experience as well. And I have to tell you that this long weekend did more for me in such a short period of time than so many other things that I have tried in terms of motivation and inspiration. The conversations we were having and the ones that were happening at the table were just incredible. There was support and problem solving, inspiration and resource sharing. This is what we do. We dive in and we get right to the heart of it. As business owners, it's so valuable to be with women who want you to succeed. And in these circles, we are doing all we can to take everyone along. There is nothing more inspirational than being supported by someone already doing well, and then having your expertise valued when you are supporting others. And that's like one of the interesting things about the circle, because you feel good by being helped and supported, and then you get the opportunity to support and help, which also makes you feel good as well. And it's an open forum. The conversations I have with my women in my circle, we are talking about what's working, what we have tried, what was the outcome from that, and what would we do again? And then, of course, what would we never look at again? So, when I started this digital business and got into this digital world, I noticed that there were a few women at the top who helped each other. They promoted one another's offers, they spoke at each other's events, and each of them grew an audience which they cross-pollinated and cross-promoted to. And I really took notice of that. Even in my corporate days, I was definitely pro women getting together and really pushed to have that happen. But once I was on my own, the necessity for that increased exponentially. So in these circles, this is where I found support, by creating different circles. It's where I could talk about and validate ideas. It's where I could speak freely about what I see happening out there in the industry. For women in business, no matter what your industry, circles are a source of grounding. They are a safe space to be who you truly are and to explore who you want to become. Circles can hold you accountable, and they can also be the energy infusion you need to get your ass in gear to do it. All right, now I want to explore this last quality a bit. So many of us have no shortage of ideas, but we get stuck in the execution. Excuses come, they come in, or as a theme in the symposium, resistance shows up. And it shows up no matter what stage you're at or no matter how successful you are. And I love the conversation about resistance. It's one of the takeaways that I wanted to share with you. No matter what, when resistance shows up, you've got to challenge it. And having a circle is a place where you can share your thoughts and your feelings about the resistance, and also, work to identify it. The circle is a place where you can vocalize the resistance. And when you speak things out loud, it creates a shift. And then you can release it, release the resistance. And the circle can hold you accountable to that. And I want to talk a little bit about energy. As I mentioned it before, that when women come together in a circle, there's an energy that flows. There's an energy that comes from each woman that she's bringing there. So at the symposium, we were asked in the beginning, what do you want to get out of being here? And my response was, I want to ride the wave of energy from these women to act for myself. Now, that's a really bold statement, because each woman in the room, she brought her energy. And, later in the day, we did some breath work. We did some exercises led by Kelly Beck. And I felt the vibration and the energy from every woman in that room. And it overwhelmed me in a way. So sometimes you need to be careful what you wish for with your intentions. But really, I took that energy that was in that circle. And it's something that can't be replicated in any other way. So when it comes to circles, intention and energy are very big parts of it. The energy that you bring and your intention for being there. And even if you're not sure what your intention is, the energy in the group can help you uncover that. I think it's one of the best parts about being part of a circle is that you may not come with the answers, only questions. But the energy of the group will help you uncover and discover parts of yourself, getting closer to your own answers. So, I realize I'm mixing a bunch of circles here, right? I have a number of circles. And, that's a cool thing about your circle is that there can be more than one and it can look entirely different. I've got circles who I've worked with for a period of time and then stopped. I've got circles that, we just keep in touch on the regular. I've got circles where we are very regimented and meet one time per month, and then there's this circle that was created at the symposium event. It had members of my circle in it already. And now it's an expanded circle because we were all there on this pretense of connection. So when I work with my clients, I always stress the importance of having and creating a circle. And this is especially true for, those people who are just starting out or women who are shifting from corporate into their own business. Your old friends cannot support you the way that you need. You need women on the journey with you. And I talked about this concept a while back on episode 46, so you can go back and re-listen to that. But, of course, everyone asks, but how do I find these relationships? How do I build a circle? So in my experience, I've built circles using these 3 ways. Okay, number 1. From joining a coaching group program. I have found that some of my closest confidants have come from group coaching. And, I have seen these circles being created from group experiences that I have hosted. When you are in a group, you are revealing about your business and learning about the businesses of those of the others in the group. And this intimacy and openness and support, it takes place inside most of every coaching program, it kind of cultivates that. And it's an automatic relationship builder. And in a group program, you'll also have extended time with your group mates, and you'll start to get a sense of who you're drawn to. So from here, reach out. Relationships are built over time. They're built over shared experiences and keeping in touch. All right, another way to find a circle and build a circle is through Facebook groups and memberships. And this is similar to the idea of group coaching. Business groups and memberships are great places to meet other people who are on the same journey. And the key here is to be involved. Less lurking, more engagement. And when you engage in these groups, you become visible. You allow others to get to know you, and you show how you can be of support. And I just want to note that the best relationships are made or come from paid groups and memberships. When you and your fellow members are paying, there is an up level of commitment. And that's what you want. You want to build a circle with people who are committed to their journey and are investing in themselves. Okay, 3rd place to find people to build a circle with is networking events. This is another one about showing up and engaging, right? You got to show up and meet people, see who you hit it off with, and then continue to nurture the relationship by continuing to show up to the networking events. And depending on the networking group, the opportunities to show up, they may look different, but the point is to be involved, get to know other people. Who has a skill that you want to know more about? Who has a need for the skill that you have? Start conversations and cheer people on. Sit at different tables so you get to meet different people and show up consistently so that you get to know others and they get to know you. From there, be human, right? Let relationships bloom from your interests. So go for it, my friends. Go find your people. Be open and it will happen. Another theme from the symposium that is a real takeaway is be all in. If it's your work, your healing, or your goals and dreams, allow yourself the full process. Fully receive all that is coming to you. The ideas and the recognition, fully receive how other people see you. And this one can be hard because we are always able to see the best in others and tend to gloss over that when we're looking at ourselves. But this is where your circle can be the biggest support because those in your circle can reflect back to you who you really are, right? They see you one way and they can share that with you so you can start to see yourself as others see you and receive that, really. So I love this quote from April Pertwee: be in the circles of women who will challenge you to be all in. And you can attend her next symposium by following the link in the show notes. It's all going to be there, all the details. And I hope you take action from this week. Take one step in finding and building a circle that you can cultivate and they can support you. All right, thanks for being here. Until next time. Thanks for joining me today. You can access more info in the show notes at thelonggamepodcast.net. If today's show connected with you in some way, please share it with your friends or hop on iTunes and leave me a review. Until next time, keep playing the long game.